with a new episode of our regular weekly program, The Weekend. I am Mohammedan.
And I'm Murtaza Solangi.
Solangi Saab, I hope you had a enjoyable and relaxing Eid holidays. And we are doing this first program after Eid break. And I think in the last few days, there have been some interesting developments around the world, this region and in the country that we hope to discuss in the next half an hour. Let's begin by another exciting news out of the Oval Office that true to his reputation and formidable strike record, President Trump has done what he had promised during his campaign trail and in the last few weeks, and signed the executive order, which has caused a huge turbulence around the world, particularly on the economic plane. And he has listed dozens of countries, including very close allies, key trading partners, by imposing very heavy tariffs against their exports to the U.S. The initial reports from the U.S. Automobile and manufacturers and assemblers are also based on concern that this could cause a rise in the inflation, and some sort of panic has hit the New York Stock Exchange as well. What's your take on what's going on and how it is likely to affect the world?
Thank you, Ali. Interestingly, during these Eid holidays in the Muslim world, usually this period is treated dull news-wise. But interestingly, as you rightly said about events in the United States under Trump, but also even in Pakistan, it was not a dull news cycle. So when we come to the end of our discussion and talk about Pakistan, I will narrate few important developments. But when it comes to Trump 2.0, American politics and economy and America's engagement with the world at large has never been full of action and suspense and news-making as has been witnessed under the second stint of Trump, where he has even bragged about not ending his presidency after his term ends after 4 years, even hinting at finding a lacuna as if he could contest as a vice president with the current vice president, J.D. Vance, and make him resign and become president for the third time. I seriously doubt that will happen. But when it comes to economy and tariffs, it has really become very, very action-packed. As we are discussing right now, and as we were anticipating the retaliatory tariffs by other world economies, after this 2 days back announcement by Mr. Trump, what he called Liberation Day, it was just the opposite. It has become a decimation day, not only for the American economy, but the global economy at large. I'm sure you have read the warning shots by International Monetary Fund chief, Madam Kristalina Georgieva, who has rightly said that this tariff war could pose serious risks to global economic order. And as many economists are suggesting, this could push the world to global recession. As we talk, if you have seen the global oil prices, the Brent, the crude, that's also going down. And it might, end up in what is being feared. As we record this show, we saw the action by China, who have slapped 34% tariffs in retaliation. That's in addition to the tariffs Chinese had already put. In response to the latest 34% tariffs by Trump, in addition to that 20% he had announced already. So in total, 54%. Even China's neighbor and new friend of America, Vietnam, that has been slapped over 50% tariff, probably 59. European Union is considering, they will probably announce in few days from Brussels. Even UK, Canada, USA. Interestingly, a resolution was passed by with the help of 4 dissenting Republican senators against the tariffs put against Canada. So we are in for a real, time of our lives, that, the global economic order is in sharp transition. We don't know when everything is settled down, where will we end up? But, we have to see what other economies do, and in response to what Trump has done and how it impacts the global economic order.
Indeed, Murtaza. And as someone who has looked at these things, not just from the policy, but also academic perspective, the debate in the discipline of international relations has been traditionally dominated by the transformation and rise and fall of great powers. But nobody, including the greatest political scientists and political analysts and international professors, could predict that the US-led so-called rules-based world order would be disrupted by a US president rather than being challenged by its rising and emerging competitors. So that is something also very new, and which is reflected in Financial Times editorial today by their editorial board, which has said exactly what we on this program have said on a number of occasions, that Mr. Trump is not changing the US policies. He's unraveling the very structures on which the US-led world order was anchored and pivoted since the end of the Second World War. And I think the initial shock and awe which key European partners and allies faced from Trump 2.0 has now changed into anger. And they, as you rightly pointed out, be it Germany, be it Britain, be it Canada, they have all decided that instead of appeasing Trump administration, they are going to respond, and they are going to respond as the new Prime Minister of Canada has said, in a manner that Americans will feel pain and they will feel hurt. So it is a trade war which is not being waged through weapons. but through causing serious and deep harm to each other's economies, trade policies, and industries. And the third reaction is that of panic, as I earlier pointed out, within the New York Stock Exchange, which crashed for over 1,000 points. And most of the exporters of the US are also anticipating retaliatory actions from major trading partners, including China, India, Japan, South Korea, Germany, Britain, France, which means that even the exports of US are going to badly suffer, which means the employment and profitability of US industry is also going to face harm. So it seems that the US industry is more skeptical about the promised benefits that the Trump administration has claimed, and is preparing for the days when even their market access to other countries might also be badly affected as a direct result of the retaliatory actions taken by the other countries. But let me quickly come to Pakistan as well, because Pakistan is also included in the list of those countries which Mr. Trump has mentioned and claimed that it is charging high tariffs for the US products and services. And I've spoken to a number of industrial leaders and traders, and they are suggesting that the Pakistan government should, in order to maintain Pakistan's largest export market with USA, Pakistan has almost $6 billion worth of annual exports to the US, which determines the employment and profitability of our industrial sector. And they are suggesting to the Pakistani Prime Minister that it should, in the interest of maintaining Pakistan's market access and export revenue to the US, significantly reduce Pakistan's tariff for the US goods as well, so that it will actually be a sigh of relief for our consumers, because if the US products become cheaper in Pakistani market, and it will lower their prices, and but obviously government is worried because it will lose the indirect taxation in terms of custom duty, which it heavily relies on for meeting the tax revenue, particularly in the wake of the upcoming federal budget.
Yeah, in this chaotic economic order that Mr. Trump has unleashed, every country has to look for itself. So as you rightly narrated about Pakistan's industry and trade perspective and recommendations, Pakistan cannot just, focus on these measures, but also has to look for other export destinations and diversify its import-export portfolio, as every country would look for itself. But most economists are suggesting that it will hurt US economy more than help it. And despite the claims by Mr. Trump that it's a wonderful dream, it might turn into a nightmare, because when retaliatory tariffs are imposed on US, that exports services as well as technology equipment and services. Even European allies are thinking of changing their import-export policy and looking for countries that could provide them the same services other than the United States. And if there are huge tariffs by European allies and China on American exports, then they would not stay competitive. Their exports would drop. And instead of getting job opportunities in the US, it would certainly push towards unemployment. While we have seen the stock markets crashing all over the world, not only US, Europe, Hong Kong, Singapore, Japan, everywhere. So you know very well, there are millions of people who put their savings, their pensions into stock market. Trillions of dollars have been simply vaporized. So it would have a lot of global impact. It's not only the strategic realignment in the world, in the new global order, but the economic order is also going through a major overhaul.
Indeed, definitely. And I think this is a development that we will continue to watch and discuss in the upcoming episodes for better and timely analysis of its implications for the world and this region. Coming to South Asia, a bill has been passed in the Indian Parliament, which has caused a lot of interest and reaction among the opposition parties and the Muslim political leaders. This bill basically takes away the power of the representatives of the Muslim community and redistributes this authority regarding religious buildings and historic landmarks to the district administration and magistrates. And the opposition has strongly protested against it. Some politicians have actually resigned. The Chief Minister of Bihar is facing very strong opposition. And the voices from the Muslim politicians are saying this is another evidence that the Muslims no longer enjoy the same rights as Indian citizens as those who are belonging to the Hindu religion. What's your perspective on this, Murtaza?
Well, Modi government relies on what has been globally called populist fascism. The electorate gave BJP some kind of humiliation in the last elections and deprived them of the huge majority they had in the previous term. But they continue harping on the old theme. I don't think it's good for India and good for its secular fabric. That's the only fabric that could unite India. And rightly, some of the leaders, including Rahul Gandhi, have said that this would not end at Muslims. It would affect other minority communities as well. So this kind of policy, wherever in the world, be it Pakistan or India or any other country, it's a strategy that is doomed to failure. It has no future. And it would only hurt India than help it. We'll see how the opposition parties and Muslim community and other minorities respond to this, but it's not a good move.
Indeed. And this particular bill reinforces the recent anger which the Muslim community faced and demonstrated after there were strong voices from BJP leadership that the Muslim imprint on Indian history must be erased. And there were calls that even the tombs and the mausoleums of famous Mughal rulers like Aurangzeb and others must be demolished. And this bill, which takes away the power of managing historic monuments and places and buildings close to Muslim history in India and giving it to district administration has, I think, reinforced these fears that this is a legal and political step towards eliminating the Muslim history from the Indian history and to rewrite a Hindu history, which is based on a conspicuous absence of the Muslim contribution to the Indian art, history, literature, architecture, music, food, garments, and so on and so forth. Do you think, in your assessment, you visited India a few times as a journalist? Tell me, is it possible for India to recover from the centuries old Muslim influence as a policy?
Well, Muslims are part of India, and Muslim heritage is part of Indian heritage. It's not too alien. You could say that Mughal kings and armies and invaders did come to India, but the people who became Muslims were originally from that land. They did not come from faraway lands. They are the original people of India. And the people of India have always been diverse in their race, in their languages, cultures. So trying to dismantle that, diverse religious and cultural heritage would not be a service to the people of India. And it has faced opposition, and it will face opposition, and it will be counterproductive, and it would not help India. So let's see if the common sense prevails. If didn't, it's a lose-lose proposition. It's not a winning proposition.
Indeed. So, Murtaza, you have a very keen eye on the pulse of Pakistani politics. So what should Pakistan expect after the Eid holidays on the political landscape?
Well, if you look from the government's perspective, it's all rosy. I'm sure if you have seen today's newspapers, even reporters like Shahbaz Rana, who have reported that Pakistan's inflation is down to 0.7%, a historic low in 57 years. And yesterday, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif announced a major deal with 29 IPPs, saving over 4,000 billion rupees in the form of capacity payments, and resulting in huge reduction in power rates for industrial, business, domestic users, and even more for protected categories, people who use a limited number of power units. I think economy is already stabilized. the deal with IMF has gone through. And this is a good news for Pakistan's economy. And as that great election strategist, James Carville, who led the campaign of Bill Clinton's 1992 election campaign, it's the economy, stupid. So, in terms of Pakistan's economy, despite calls for withholding remittances, converting Pakistan into Bangladesh, into Sri Lanka, and whatever, this month, the remittances were all-time high, $3.5 billion. So I think if you look from the government's perspective, it's on a winning streak. Economic stabilization, plans for reforms. And if you look at the major obstacle, the main opposition, PTI, it's in tatters. There are groups within PTI fighting against each other. So all those tall claims of launching any agitation and forming an opposition alliance, they can't keep their own party intact. So I think from the political perspective, except a little brouhaha between the People's Party and ruling party on canal issues and water issues and PSDP, etc., I think that little music will go on, but I think there are no chances of any political instability in Pakistan. It looks hunky-dory for government and bad news for PTI and its incarcerated leader, Imran Khan.
Indeed, and thank you so much for sharing your deep insight into not just Pakistani politics, but also the most important developments happening around the world. Viewers, this was our program for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep watching this program and don't forget to share your comments and views. Thank you so much.